So when boxing returns, the first major fight could be the completion of the trilogy between Canelo Alvarez and Gennadiy Golovkin. The two have reportedly agreed to financial terms, paving the way for one of the most anticipated fights in boxing. But in an interview, Golovkin's trainer, Jonathan Banks, said he has rejected the idea of fighting Canelo next, insisting that Golovkin get to face his lightly regarded challenger, Kamil Szeremeta, first. Sergio, this is a fight, Canelo-Golovkin, that has been put off for over a year now. Do you think Triple G needs another fight?
I think Triple G and Canelo need a fight in between. We don't know how fighters, athletes, all of us are going to react after this quarantine is over. We've been indoors, we've been lethargic, and if you're going to go in there and fight a war with a monster, yeah, you need a not even a give me fight, a stay busy type fight before you go into another big fight. So I agree with Jonathan Banks because you don't want to go straight into another war with Canelo after this layoff. You don't know how your body's going to react. So a fight in between for both fighters makes sense, and then they could collide this time next year, September of 2021. I think that's what that, or May can also be a big holiday for them as well. So one of those two fights in May or September of next year, a fight in between, that's what works.
Oh, look, in an ideal world, sure, you have an interim fight for both these guys. Canelo fights Billy Joe Saunders, Golovkin gets Szeremeta. And I think for the purposes of promoting this fight, getting Golovkin back in the ring and having him score a big knockout would certainly help because his last two fights have not been all that impressive. But I don't really love the attitude of Team Golovkin right now. I mean, Golovkin and Banks have been working together for over a year now. Golovkin is 38 years old. He is a longtime middleweight champion, a two-time champion now after having won that belt off of Sergey Derevyanchenko. So how much more time does he actually need? You need more time to get acclimated with your trainer? You need more time to shake off the rust? I mean, I just don't see it. This sort of procrastination, I don't think it's a good look for Golovkin. I think it shows that maybe Team Golovkin isn't all that confident about their ability to win against Canelo.
Chris Mannix, who are you to talk about anyone's attitude? You're the king of attitude. You don't know anything about what it is to be lethargic, to be inactive, and then go into a mega fight like that. I totally get Jonathan Banks. Whether time is on their side, okay, maybe it's not. He's going to be 38 years old. They've both been inactive, and that's what kills any type of sharpness in a boxer's inactivity. That's the number one killer. All right, I get this. We don't live in a perfect world, but I understand Jonathan Banks. Is he going to have to, are they both going to have to readjust? Golovkin and Banks, yes, but I get what he's saying. Is he going to have the luxury to get that fight in between? We're going to see. Is it selfish? I don't think so. I think it's taking care of his fighter and Jonathan Banks being a hell of a trainer because he's doing what a lot of really good and solid trainers would do, and that's take care of their fighter, get a fight in between, then go into a big fight.
Okay, but explain to me what is gained from a training camp for Szeremeta and then knocking this guy out inside 3 rounds, which is the most likely scenario in that situation. What is a guy like Golovkin, who has fought the best of the best over the last few years, who has fought mandatory challenge after mandatory challenge as a title holder, what does he really gain out of fighting Szeremeta?
Look at any superstar's resume. You're going to get a Szeremeta type opponent in between big fights. It just shake off the rust. That's exactly what this is. He may be a high-level opponent, but it's just shaking off the rust. It's just getting back in there, getting the juices flowing, getting the confidence, getting that knockout back. I mean, look at what Steve Rolls did for Golovkin. It prepared him for a war in Derevyanchenko. If Derevyanchenko would have fought him before Steve Rolls, that might have been a different story. Derevyanchenko might have stopped Golovkin, in my opinion. But he got that Steve Rolls, he got that confidence, he got that big drama show back, and it got people excited again. And that's what it does for a fight. Whether it's 1 or 2 rounds, it doesn't matter. It gets the juices flowing again. You don't start a car up in the cold, you don't start a car up in the cold when it's freezing. Mess up the engine.
What rust are you talking about? Golovkin just fought 6 months ago. Canelo has the same level of layoff that Golovkin has going into a September showdown. Golovkin should not be rusty at this point. He got 2 fights in 2019. He fought last October. He should be as sharp as he can possibly be at this point. I don't understand this whole rust theory. This, to me, is all about Team Golovkin effectively saying, we're not sure we can beat him right now. Maybe if we get an extra training camp and an extra fight in, we'll make trainer and fighter sharper. We'll make the fighter even more confident. There are myriad reasons, Sergio, why they might want to delay. Shaking off the rust, I don't think is one of them.